Okay, we're back here. We'll do this all over again. Now we got Terrence. So anyway, we are here at my place. We're going to be live streaming from my place all through the holiday weekend. We've got some things going on for Black Friday, and we will definitely be bringing those to you then. But right now, we're kind of testing out some gear, as you can see. I had something wrong and had the voice not clicked. Actually, amateur mistake. The mute was clicked on my remote. So anyway, we're going to be bringing that to you. But one of the things I wanted to do was maybe bring you into the world of Neptune Systems aquarists. Myself, as you've seen before, this is my tank behind me. But many of us at Neptune Systems, we're really passionate about the hobby. You've seen Paul on Let's Talk Reef. And today I've got Tom Dachille. Is that the right way, Tom?
Oh my God, you've been my boss for how long, and how long have we known each other? It's Dachille, but close.
Yeah, well, it's okay. He can't say my name either. Anyway, we brought Tom. Tom's regional sales manager for the East Coast. Some of you might have seen him out there. We brought him on because he is a hobbyist, and he is passionate just like us. And I said, Tom, a couple hours ago, can we test out our gear and bring on a live stream to you through Skype, because that's how we've got it worked out. And now Tom's going to go sideways there. Okay, there he is. We're going to figure this all out. We're going to ask Tom some questions. So you guys are free to ask us any questions that you want about Tom's setup or my setup. We're not going to be on too long today. We will be on tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I will talk about what's going on for the Black Friday holiday and answer some more of your questions and tell you the rest of the schedule. One of the things I will tell you guys is we are going to be giving away gear. And one of the things I think I'm going to do is ramp up the gear depending on how many people we get into the live stream. So like right now, we've got a few people in the live stream, not too many. But if we can get, I don't know, say, what do you think, Tom? About 50 people in the live stream, we'll give away an NPR. We get 100 people in the live stream, and this is combined through Facebook and YouTube, we'll give away, say, an AFS. We get 200 in the live stream, we'll give away an ATK, and then maybe if we get over 300 in the live stream, I'll actually give away an Apex EL. So that's what I want to do for these upcoming ones. So when you start to see the notices of when these are going to go out, start sharing them with your friends, because we're going to randomly pick somebody, and the prize is going to be completely determined on how popular we can get these live streams. Sound like a good idea, Tom?
Excellent. Do I get to enter the contest?
Absolutely not. So make sure you guys comment, because that is how you get entered into any of the contests. Today, like I said, we're going to check out Tom's tank, talk to him about that, and see exactly what he's got going on. So Tom, why don't you take us and tell us, okay, how about this? I'll interview you like I did with the live stream sofa. How long have you been in the hobby, Tom?
I guess I got my first tank my freshman year at college, so it puts me about 17 years or so now. My roommate was from Columbia, and he said that he loves discus, so I thought he wanted to play ultimate frisbee. We went to Walmart, came home with a fish tank, knew absolutely nothing, killed a lot of fish for a number of years.
Oh, shh.
But I learned my lesson, and I stuck with it. I'd actually moved my aquarium back and forth every year twice, because they shut the power off during December break. So I had a lot of practice with setting up, resetting, doing it all over many, many times. And I've had a tank every day since.
Awesome. So salt water's your thing now, though, right? Not discus, right?
Nope. Started with saltwater right away. I made a 2-week attempt at a freshwater planted tank and realized this is a lot more hands-on work than I had originally anticipated, and converted it back over to a saltwater tank.
I mean, I love those I love those freshwater tanks.
I absolutely do too.
And the new freshwater planted tanks especially. But the deal with those tanks is it's kind of like, it's like having a great landscape and not having a gardener. Because you're just constantly having to mow those things down. You're a little bit off of the frame there, Tom. If you could kind of slide, there we go. So you can kind of figure out where you are in the frame, so we get more than half of your face. Okay, so what are you running today, Tom? What kind of systems are you running today in your house?
Today I have 2 tanks now. I was up to 3 at one point, went back down to 2. Over here I've got the Red Sea Reefer 350 that is on the market today. I got to say, it's a very easy tank to maintain. I obviously travel a lot for work. Don't really have a lot of free time to be able to maintain things. And just like that big powder blue in there that you got, I finally managed to get one of my own after many attempts. It's probably my favorite fish. Got a couple wrasse from the last show at Aquatic Experience, pair of clowns, a couple cardinals that I believe are breeding, same as you too. It's just a mini version, I guess, of what you got there. This is definitely my second tank. I sometimes joke that it's the leftover tank because I take all the things that are overgrowing from my good tank and move them over to here. But it's really nice to be able to have, I'm a tang lover and I can't have a big tank. So it's great to be able to have 2 landscapes to play with instead of just one. So
okay, so so how long has this tank been up?
I go somewhere else, I can get a bigger one. Let's see, 16 months, I guess, since, well, you know, and Nancy knows that I have a notorious reputation for taking every aquarium that we set up at a trade show home. My girlfriend probably knows that reputation better than everybody because it's a big surprise. Hey, got another one. And at least I got rid of one this time and I brought another one in. So this one's relatively new. I'll go into got my nice tank. Might be a little harder to see my face because
it's okay.
It's a little bit darker in here.
Let's see some fish or coral or something, you know. And you know, try to get it to where you can hold it a little steady, maybe up against the glass or something, and tell us about something that you love in there. I see you got a lot of Ecotech stuff, so are you controlling that with the Apex?
I am, in fact. Let me just take this off.
What a surprise.
Yeah. I got the WXM. That's actually kind of how this all came to be. I got one of the first WXMs when they were in beta back in the day and used to bother Paul quite a bit. And now I still bother Paul, but I guess I get paid to do it. So was one of the first with the Radion. And so in here, I'm not a coral name expert by any means, but got a bunch of, which I'm definitely thinking about switching over to all SPS. It's actually starting to overgrow things quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
My pulsing xenia, which, you know, yeah, it's actually getting quite a bit. Talk about the landscaper thing, you know, I got to get back on that.
There's a lot of xenia and LPS and stuff in there.
It's a lot. And the only can keep it contained is with torches and hammers. Otherwise, it runs out of control. So I see I have a line in the sand quite literally here that kind of sets the barrier between the two. I had polyps in here for quite some time on the right side and completely ruined my tank while I was in Florida with you. Came back, took all the rocks out, got a whole new set of purple reef rocks, which are by far and large my favorite way to go.
I love their
put
stuff.
it all back in here and you know, basically had a 1 week mini bloom, if you will, and didn't lose anything. And so it's really starting to actually grow in really nice right now. You know, it's nice being away for a little bit and coming back, and it just seems like everything's exploding. And frankly, I really don't do much of anything to this thing. I've got to empty the skimmer. Outside of that, scrape the glass. I try to really keep it maintenance free. So
let's see some of the gear. Let me ask you some of the questions about the gear and stuff. Do you have
excellent
it mounted somewhere, or is it just laying all over the floor?
I actually have the majority of the gear inside of this black box here. One of the energy bars and the head unit is in there. I've kept the doses outside, which I think looks cool, but
well, it looks like we'll have to pull Tom back in here. It looks like he had a little drop off there. This is why we're doing this little tech, you know, kind of thing. We'll answer him back in here and see if I can get Tom back online. Looks like
and you're back.
Okay, so that's our first drop
Sorry,
off
I guess
of
I
Skype.
pocket dialed myself. That was my fault.
So Tom,
since
we're checking out this stuff, you know, we've got Boca Junior 09 here says he's getting a headache. So we need to get the DJI out, buddy. Don't you have one of those?
I do. It doesn't want to cooperate, so I'm going to have to try to keep my hand a little steadier here.
Okay.
So,
all right. Because Tom is a geek like me. He's got all the toys and everything, so I couldn't believe he wouldn't be using the DJI, but it must be something not working quite right. So try to hold steady there on all that gear because we definitely eat our own dog food at Neptune. It's definitely one of those things where we're all really passionate and we run the stuff. There you can see, looks like he's got two core pumps on the wall. Looks like, what, 3 DDRs? About 2 or 3 dose pumps there. I mean, okay, it was just kind of skipping on me there. You have 2 DDRs. Well, you definitely have the gear going, buddy.
Two dose DDRs. I'm running the Triton system. No water changes. Definitely right up my alley. Been keep actually nice and clean. Redid my tank right after you and I actually go to Sanjay's, and Apex saved my day there. Ran them out after I redid all the plumbing. Haven't actually really had a need.
So you got
use any of
the
it
flow
for phosphate
sensors there, but
control or carbon.
they're not hooked up to anything yet. Some of them, and then some of them are hooked up, like your main flow sensor. So you definitely have it all geared up. Definitely have it all geared up.
Yeah, I can actually say the flow being hooked up to the chiller has saved me a ton of money. I actually ran my chiller into the adjacent room. If anybody knows what this area is, but anyway, I got the chiller running in the other room, and I was running a Mag Drive 5 on it for quite some time. I was probably putting 3 or 4 times as much water in there per hour as I really needed. After having this hooked up, and I run that plumbed off the Core 15. As you can see, eventually some dirt in there that even when I'm away, I can make the flow to maintain the 150 or so, 130 to 150 gallons per hour recommended. The chiller last summer ran, I would say, about a quarter as often as it did last year, the year before, I should say. A lot less electric and a lot less heat going into the apartment. It was just running way more efficient with the right gallons per hour through it. So anybody who doesn't have one on a chiller, I'd strongly recommend.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of application.
For me, is by far
right? There's a lot of application for the Core. I mean, I have, Richard Ross uses one to feed skimmer, and I have one that's connected to a calcium reactor that I haven't hooked up yet. And people are using them for closed loops. So there's tons of different things you can do. And because they don't use a whole lot of power, they don't add a lot of heat and whatnot, they're just a really good all-around kind of pump to use for a lot of different purposes.
100%, and I'm just happy with the minimize noise, heat, everything else that's going on here. I think my tank on an average month uses about $30 of electric. It's not a big tank, but $30 is basically nothing with us having expensive electric here. Well, I guess I'm not going to say that because your electric is more expensive than us, but keep trying to keep the cost down. I think everybody's on a budget regardless of what.
So here's a question, Tom. First question about your setup. It says, Mike Bayer says, I see dual feeders, I think. What are you doing with 2 of them?
So I have one for fish food and one for coral food. As you see, don't have a lot of fish in here. I keep them on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday strict diet, and the coral food 1 day a week. So every Sunday, everything goes off. The coral food goes in, gets a good mix with the MP40s, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they get fish food. I don't need a lot of food in here. That usually lasts me about a month and a half. I honestly forgot the last time that I've actually had to go out and feed my fish.
Awesome. We've got another question for you, Tom. It says, Tom, do you have any issues with wrasses jumping with no lid?
Unfortunately, so I actually bought the Red Sea lid days ago, right before my last trip to California. Didn't get around to finishing it on time. Came home, and I did have one of the 4 wrasse in the other tank out. I have had way more fish jump out than wrasse, though. I lost a big trigger out of the Red Sea and a couple others that are not known for jumping.
They can get spooked.
I guess it's survival of the fittest in here. I can't stand the look of the net. I really do like the open look tank. Personally, with the Elos tank, I think it's the best selling point is the big open atmosphere, if you will, that it provides. So it'd be a shame to put a lid on this thing.
We got Mark Silverman here from Dynamic Tank. So he's in here, and we've got...
Let's go, Mark.
Yeah. We got a lot of questions, obviously, about the Trident, and we're working hard on it. It's very soon. It's going to be out to NSI. I promise you guys. It's looking good, and you're just going to have to hang in there. It's it's an R&D thing right now, not a marketing thing. So when they tell me it's going to NSI, it's going to NSI, and I'm going to jump up and down and say it's awesome too. So we'll all get to drink to that, and we'll go from there. Look, we got Cody here too. Cody from California here, Southern California. The Southern California Marine Aquarium Society helps put on the Reefapalooza down there. So welcome, Cody.
So
Thanks for joining us.
I actually have something for Cody.
Okay, you got to sit down.
Opportunity for this.
You got to either like sit still. Oh yes, okay. This is for Cody. You can hardly see it in the frame there, but we did see it. Cody, that's Tom basically giving it to you there. Tom, every year at Reefapalooza in Orlando, the guys over at Worldwide Corals that put that on do a nice thing for all the vendors, and they basically rent out the racetrack. And there's kind of a rivalry going on because Cody. And Greg Carroll too. He's also on the stream here right now, and so Cody has won it before, with Tom coming in what, second or third?
Second, to be fair. That trophy's in the other room as well. So
okay, and
it's a fresh reminder.
And last year it was Tom who picked up the trophy, but in Cody's defense, I will say that the tracks were different. So I think we really have to get to where we're on the same kind of track as the original one, which is the gas track, and then we'll see what really happens out on that track. Huh, Tom? That's where the big boys play.
Okay.
It's too much for me.
That's
I mean,
right.
it's pretty competitive out there, but it's fun. And and Greg Carroll's on here too. And who else we got here that we recognize? Well, there's just lots of people, and like I said, this is just a short little live stream we're doing to test out some gear. We're testing out using Skype, because we're going to do some remotes out at local fish stores through the holiday weekend, and wanted to test out the gear, see how it would work. It worked pretty well, and the Skype coming through, Tom, it did pixelate here and there with the randomness, as you know, with all the random water and stuff moving, and if the camera's moving a lot and whatnot. So if you can get the DJI going, it would absolutely probably help the situation. But we're going to be doing that all through the weekend. I'm going to be going live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. here on the West Coast. That's midnight on the East Coast, to announce our Black Friday stuff that we're going to have going on. And listen, you can hear one of my drains in the background maybe. Look at that. You guys hear that? Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to figure out what that is. But anyway, we're pretty much done here. Thanks, Tom, for showing us what you got over there. And you guys definitely look for Facebook for the announcements for these next live streams, because the more people we get in the live stream, the bigger I'm going to make the prize. So when you see the announcement come out for 9 o'clock tomorrow, or you're actually on the live stream, share it around. Get the word out, get that live stream built up, because I'll bring it all the way up to a full apex if we get enough people on there on that live stream tomorrow. And then we'll be live streaming, believe it or not, on Thanksgiving. We'll be live streaming on actual Black Friday. Paul is going to be in here showing us some cool stuff with the apex right here at my place. He's already kind of given me a preview. It's going to be pretty cool. That's going to be on Friday morning, probably around 10 o'clock in the morning. Saturday, Tom's going to be out in the field. We don't know exactly where yet, but he's going to be at a local fish store out there on the East Coast. And on Sunday, Vincent's going to be at Neptune Aquatics here on the West Coast, here in San Jose, checking out what they've got going on over there. So it's going to be a fun little week here, where we're going to talk all about apex gear. We're going to look at fish. I'm going to have a couple of cameras going on here. We can even talk about fish and corals in the tank, that I have here, or that we see at the stores. We're just going to kind of wing it. It's not going to have any real format, and we hope you guys enjoy it. Tom, you have a good time?
Excellent.
Okay,
Great
let me
time.
just check one more time for another question, see if they've got any questions. Something that's easy maybe, okay? Oh, here's one. So Boca Junior 09. Hi, Terrence. Mario here from South Florida. Are you or Tom running a refugium? I absolutely am running a refugium. My tank, I have about a 7-foot by 4-foot sump in a separate room. So probably 2 feet by 3 feet of that is macroalgae, and the rest is my skimmer and my return pump and a bunch of live rock that I have down there. And I do think that that's a big contributor to the success, at least in my setup. Tom, what about you?
I am. I'm running a Trigger 39 system. I'll go in here real quick so you take a look. Small tank. Refugium was definitely a big game changer for me. So got a Kessel 160 on there. And yes, that's an MP10. And as you can see, it's growing like a mat. being able to dial in the gallons per hour that was going through here with the core pump really changed it real quick for me. So at this point, it's a couple
point the
inches
camera
thick.
down a little more there, Tom. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
That's
So,
what we want to see, that nice, ugly, nasty refugium. That's when you know you got a good refugium, when it looks nice and nasty. Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Tom a little bit on audio there. Tom, you still there? Okay.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you're breaking in and out. It's just because the camera's moving too much. So somebody there said, why an MP10 and not a wave, Tom?
You definitely cannot use a wave in a 1x1 cube for refugium.
Yes.
The honest answer is I had the MP10 floating around. What I was trying to sell it for was not worth selling it. I was going to use the closed loop to just try to get the bottom in there. But I realized, if I'm going to have the MP10 sitting there, it's good. It runs for a little bit every day. I had a small Rio or something like that in there a while back, and because it's plastic, so I don't recommend it, but if you have one sitting in your closet, you might as well use it.
And somebody asked how fast does the water go through. I mean, some people try to slow it down through a particular refugium area. In my case, it's just one big, it's kind of like a President Taft bathtub. It's just a gigantic trough that I have down there. And so really what happens on mine is I have another pump that runs my UV, and the water out of my UV ends up flowing mostly through that and the algae. And the algae's kind of off the side at the other end of the aquarium, of the sump, so from where the return comes in. So it really doesn't have a whole lot of flow rolling through it at any one time. But there's lots of ways of doing it, for sure. All right. Somebody else always asking me about turf scrubbers. Turf scrubbers are great, I think, if you're in a situation where you have, don't have the space. Otherwise, I really like, I personally prefer all of the macroalgae, all the life that lives in there, all of the different animals, and it just is really easy to grab a handful of algae out of there and throw it in a bucket. But nothing against them. I know they work for some people, especially for people that have small setups and they want to have a little bit of nutrient export under their tank. Also in California, it's a power issue, but definitely. Anyway, I'm going to close it down now. We've taken enough questions. Definitely going to have a great holiday week here, so stay tuned to your Facebook, stay tuned to your YouTube. Make sure that you're getting notifications. Make sure you like us on YouTube and that that you have us down on Facebook, so that you'll get these announcements. Thank you, Tom, for coming online here. We're going to see you again over the weekend. And for now, that's it from the Fugazzi Aquarium, the Fugazzi 425. Thanks for joining us. See ya. Enjoy those fish.